If someone did that to your family, you would want to pull the trigger, won't you?
Hannah Arendt. She had this incredible insight about revenge, and she called it action without a future.
Welcome back to Real Philosophy. We're back again with something exciting. Mohit, I watched something yesterday which has been in my mind for a while now. So, Heather, one of my favorite movies. I went back to it again yesterday. This time I discovered a scene, not discovered, but I looked at a scene in a different way. You remember this moment when he's got the gun pointed at the uncle, the
Yeah,
guy who's basically destroyed his life completely, and then he just stops. And it made me wonder that why would he do it? Because he's been waiting for this moment for a long time. All the story has been culminating into this point. And if someone did that to your family, you would want to pull the trigger, won't you?
yeah. That moment, it's a chilling moment, and
Yeah.
just like, just like the source code, which was Hamlet, which we'll speak about. In which Hamlet doesn't kill his uncle because he's praying. In an uncanny similarity here as well, because KK Menon is praying. That's why he doesn't shoot him. But yeah, coming to think of it, all that has happened. It I think it could have gone either way.
Exactly, exactly. I think revenge is the theme, right? So
Hmm.
that's the key word here, cutting
Intikam.
across both the play and the movie and the story itself. And we will try to unpack that. Revenge as a theme through Heather.
Mhm.
And yeah, let's get on to it. So I don't know, for people who have not seen it, Heather is basically Hamlet in disguise, an adaptation of the play by William Shakespeare, but it's set in Kashmir in the 1990s, which was a difficult time uh, for the country and for Kashmir also. But I would say it's not just a very simple lift and shift adaptation, right?
Absolutely not. See, when Shakespeare wrote Hamlet, of course he was portraying betrayal and revenge, but he was doing so in a relatively stable society. But Vishal Bhardwaj has taken Hamlet, and I think the resemblances and the instances of the similarities are uncanny, to be honest, between both, right? Both Heather and Hamlet. But he's dropped the story in Kashmir in the 90s, like you said, where the entire system's broken, where disappearances are normal and everyone's watching everyone else, right?
In the original play Hamlet, uh, the guy's conflicted about revenge, right? Because he's in his mind, he's thinking maybe it's morally wrong.
Mhm.
But in the movie, the conflict, although somewhat similar, it's a bit different as well. Because in this movie, he's thinking that if I take this revenge, if I actually end up doing it, do I become the monster I'm trying to fight in the system, right?
Yes, yes, exactly. There is this really powerful dialogue. There are so many, of course, and there's this one from Kulbhushan Karbanda, where he says, "Intikam se sirf intikam hi paida hota hai."
Yes.
But again, what you said, right? That's what makes it so complex. Heather is not just dealing with family trauma. He's dealing with state violence. He's dealing with systemic oppression, and he's dealing with collective trauma more than anything else.
Wait. There, you said too many words. State violence, oppression. You break that down for me. How does that change the simple revenge equation?
Okay, so just think about it, right? If you've not your, let's say someone's father is murdered
Yeah.
by one person, right? So
Yeah.
revenge has a very clear target there, that
Right.
person. But what if that father is disappeared by a system? What if it's
Yeah.
not just your father, but thousands of others, right? Who exactly are you going to be taking the revenge on? It's not an
Yeah.
individual soldier here. Is it
Yeah.
a commanding officer who's sort of orchestrating this shit? The entire
Yeah.
apparatus? I mean,
Yeah.
it becomes really
Yeah.
complex.
Yeah. It's like you're trying to fight blind. You're trying to
Yeah,
punch smoke and you don't know who your target is. So you're trying to either kill everyone or no one. Right.
absolutely. Yeah. That's where the philosophical trap begins.
But who's this philosopher that's talked about revenge?
Uh, There is this philosopher called Hannah Arendt. She
Mhm.
had this incredible insight about revenge, and she called it action without a future.
Okay, what does that mean?
You're entirely living in the past if you're focusing on revenge. You're trying to undo
Right.
something that has already happened, trying to restore something that cannot be restored very simply.
So you are stuck in a loop, you're stuck in a moment, and if I'm trying to think about Heather, he's also stuck in that moment that he's trying to get out of, and he's trying to do something about it.
Yes, yes, that's Heather's prism. If you prison, right? If you watch the film, he's constantly replaying his father's disappearance, his mother's betrayal, and he just can't move forward because he's trapped trying to fix the past.
But yeah, but that's, I would say that's quite natural, right? And if someone does something to you as bad as, killing your relative or father, worse, you would be obsessed with getting justice, hook or crook, right?
But I mean, it's so right what you said. But that's the thing, right? There's a difference between justice and revenge. It's all in the mindset, right? Justice is about restoring balance, and it's about creating systems that prevent future harm. Revenge is the exact opposite. It's about making sure that someone else feels the pain you're feeling.
You remember the scene when he's going back to Kashmir? He's this
Yeah.
educated, gentle guy, and by the end of the movie, he's just this guy who looks completely different, talks completely differently, and he's what, planning bombings across the city?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's gone to the other side,
Yeah,
as his mother puts it. Yeah,
yeah.
but you're right. He becomes indistinguishable from the system he's fighting, and that's the trap. To defeat monsters, you have to become a monster.
And it's a bit weird, right? It's like violence engulfed you. You went to fight against the violence, and now the violence reproduces itself through you,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
absolutely, absolutely. Now you're getting it. So, and what makes it even more complex in Kashmir is this whole surveillance thing because it screws with your head.
Yeah, because now everyone is watching everyone. So it's not just the police or the military or the government that's watching you, it's your neighbors, everyone,
Yeah,
right? And that's gonna mess up with your head.
there's this concept. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's called the Panopticon.
Yeah, I think a bit, but go on, explain.
So it's from Michael Foucault, and imagine a circular prison where guards can watch all the prisoners, but the
Mhm.
prisoners can't see the guards. So you never know
Yeah.
when you're being watched or who you're being watched from.
Okay, that's creepy. And I remember this new YouTube video that I've watched about the most difficult prison in Ecuador where the lights never go out and all the prisoners can see each other and everything is out in the open. But yeah, I think this is
Wow.
what you're talking about. But how does that relate to the movie?
Because Kashmir is exactly that, right? Everyone's a potential informant. Your, like you said, your neighbor, your friend, your very own brother.
So in a way, you don't even need the police to police you because you're policing yourself because you never know if someone's watching, right?
Yeah, yeah. And in that environment, I mean, paranoia isn't mental illness; it's survival. I mean, Heather's suspicious of his mother, his uncle, like everyone around him, and it all seems rational if you think about it.
Yeah, yeah. It must be super exhausting, right? Imagine living in this constant paranoia when you can't trust anyone. It's weird.
Yeah, and the problem with that is that it's in a situation like this when revenge actually starts becoming appealing because
Yeah,
everything else is so uncertain. I mean, you can't trust your own mother.
yeah,
That case, revenge probably gives you a lot more clarity, a lot more direction because see, you don't want your mind to be muddled up all the time,
yeah.
right? And if there is something that is giving you direction and clarity,
Mhm.
no matter how egregious it is,
Yeah,
go for that,
yeah,
right? And
yeah,
then it simply becomes this person hurt me, so I hurt them back. It becomes very linear.
yeah,
It's,
yeah, yeah.
it's
Yeah.
false clarity, right? I mean, reducing all the complexities of human relationships,
And
all the nuance of political situations to a simple equation hurt for hurt. It's like saying that fuck diplomacy, let's go all out war. It's simpler,
uh,
right?
yeah,
Fuck these gray areas. But at the end of the day, diplomacy There is a reason that diplomacy exists, so that lives aren't lost, because narratives are
Exactly.
never so linear. There is always
Yeah.
gray, and gray will always remain.
Yeah, but this hurt for hurt and eye for an eye and revenge for revenge, it never works out, does it?
No, intikam se hi se aur intikam paida hota hai, like you
Yeah.
said, right? And it is so beautiful. There is this really beautiful line, this dialogue where I think, because people talk a lot about azadi, right, in that movie,
Yeah.
and what I think Kulbhushan Kharbanda only says that जब तक हम अपने इंतकाम से आजाद नहीं हो जाते, तब तक कोई आजादी हमें आजाद नहीं कर सकती.
Right,
And
right.
which is again so beautiful. So, but you're right, that's not how life works, right?
Yeah.
When you're traumatized, when you're isolated, when you can't trust anyone, that simplicity unfortunately becomes very seductive.
I think I'm gonna talk about some specific scenes in the movie as well. The most how would I put it? Alluring or descriptive scene rather is when he's dancing, right? Really, really intensely. Almost feels like a ritual, a prayer that he's declaring something to someone, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's also one of my favorite scenes, because it shows us what Heather has lost in the process, right?
Mm,
Like in Kashmiri culture, grief isn't private, it's communal. People
mm.
express pain through poetry, music, dance, etc.
So, so he's trying to grieve the way his culture grieves, right? In this case.
Yes, but he's still alone. There is no
Yeah.
community to witness his pain, to
Yeah.
share it, to help transform it into something that will give way to healing.
So in his mind, he's trying to grieve through a cultural grief mechanism, but he still does not have an audience or people to share that culture with.
Correct. And it's exactly that isolation which makes revenge so tempting. When you
Mm,
can't grieve properly, and you can't process trauma collectively as a society, as a family, individual violence starts to feel like like a very good option.
mm. So he's trying to grieve, and maybe theoretically, if the grief was addressed and shared and comforted, maybe things could have gone in a different direction. But because they did not, so the natural healing process sort of gets interrupted, right? And now the pain has nowhere else to go except inwards.
Yeah.
And it brings us to that final scene again, where he's got the gun on the uncle, right?
Yes, that moment. I mean, everything in the movie almost seems like it's building on to that moment. And yeah, I mean,
Yeah, and he doesn't do it. But why doesn't he do it?
uh, I think in that moment he sees himself clearly, maybe for the first time. Probably, I don't know. He probably sees what he's become and what he's lost in the pursuit of revenge.
Wait, what has he lost?
I mean, everything that made him who he was, right? His relationships, his sanity, his connections to culture, his humanity. He's not humane, right, towards the end of
Mm.
it. And I mean, I think the only humane thing he does is
Mm.
that he doesn't take that shot towards
Yeah,
Uncle.
yeah. So in a way, like if he had taken the shot,
Hmm.
uh, taken the revenge, that would complete his destruction, right? And not restore him. That it would not have given him anything good.
Yes, and that's the
Yeah.
paradox. The only way to honor his father is not to avenge him. The only way to remain his father's son is to refuse to become a killer, even though his father couldn't have been more clearer कि मेरा इंतकाम लेना.
Yeah, but it's not satisfying, right? It's not. It doesn't make sense in a 1 + 1 = 2 world where things should be logical, and the uncle gets away with it.
Yeah, and I mean that's what makes it interesting. Heather doesn't choose this because it feels good or it's satisfying. He chooses it because it's the only way to break the cycle. In that moment, I think he knows that he doesn't want to continue doing this anymore. And
Mm.
probably he feels that, that if he were to take that shot, that cycle would keep going on.
Mm. So what is this cycle about? Revenge?
Yeah, violence reproducing violence, right? I mean, trauma creating more trauma. If he kills his uncle, then there's someone else who will want to avenge his uncle. There's no end to this, basically.
So what you're trying to say is at that moment he's thinking beyond himself. He's come up with this idea of that if I do it, it will have further repercussions. So I, at this point of time, no matter how painful it is, should try to break the cycle.
Yes, he's basically choosing possibility over certainty, right? I mean,
Yeah.
revenge is certain. You kill, you feel temporarily satisfied, you become a killer. But refusing revenge, that's when uncertainty comes, right? It opens up possibilities that you can't imagine.
Yeah, but I can imagine that something like that would take incredible strength, right? It's absolutely going against every instinct that you have. I mean, I've never been in that situation, but I would say everyone has been in this situation to a lesser extent, right? Not trying to murder someone, but in a situation where you have to take a decision where it can give you some instantaneous joy or satisfaction. But there is a small voice in your head which is trying to say, don't do it. It's just going to make it worse later on. But you still, most of us will still end up doing it, right? People who are not dealing with this, right? People who are living regular lives, they still get hurt. They get betrayed. They get treated unfairly at work or outside, uh, any situation. How do you apply this to regular life?
I think is it the same? What the movie tells obviously takes it to an extreme. That's a very different spectrum, real but still very extreme. But even in our lives, our mundane corporate lives, uh, the mechanism is the same. Someone hurts you, and your brain immediately starts plotting how to hurt them back.
Yeah.
It could be that stinker of a mail, for example, as
Yeah.
well as something as small as that. And it might feel like justice in your head, but honestly, it's just really a reaction, right? Nothing more.
It consumes your whole day, whole week. And
Yeah.
if it's a fight with your boss, maybe your whole quarter, and then you become trapped by it.
And see, here's the thing: when you refuse to let other people's action determine your own, when you
Mm.
refuse to become what hurt you, you're not just helping yourself, you're breaking those cycles what we spoke about that might have continued for generations.
Right. So every time someone, some benevolent soul breaks this cycle, chooses not to take revenge, they're not just saving themselves, they're also saving other people from future harm.
That's
Right.
and yeah, and that's the choice that Heather makes. That it's not just about him; it's about everyone who comes after him.
Mm. Yeah, that's. I hope that I'm able to apply this in my life. But yeah. So about the movie, I spoke about my favorite scene, one of, and you said that it's your one of your favorite scenes as well. But is there anything, any other scene that you really liked?
Uh, I think towards the end there is this scene
Hmm.
in the cemetery.
Yeah,
When Heather is talking to his father's grave,
yeah.
yeah, and he's having this conversation with the dead people, and I think I felt it was something which was very raw. That he's literally talking to emptiness, trying to get guidance from someone who can't even answer back.
That's very normal. Not normal, I would say, but that's something that you see a lot, right? Where there's a person is going through trauma. They're trying to maintain connections with someone who they adore, but now it's become one-sided in a
Yeah,
way.
yeah. It shows how grief makes you desperate for any kind of
Yeah,
closure and any kind of
yeah,
sign works, right? But the dead don't speak back. You're left
yeah,
with your own voice echoing in the silence, unfortunately.
yeah, yeah. There's another scene in which she's watching the mother and uncle together through the window,
Okay.
and you see that his world is crumbling, right? He's feeling it in his face that the whole world that he uh, came back to, it's sort of crumbling now, and there are no words. You just see his face, and one of those moments where you feel bad for him. A lot of expressions in that moment as well. There's disbelief, there's rage, and that heartbreak, and yes, of course, like you said, betrayal. It's like he's everything that he came back to is not there anymore, and at that moment, he became something else, right? He is not the sweet little boy who came back to Kashmir. You know that something's gonna go spiral.
Yeah, and I mean that's what great cinema does. It shows you the exact moment
Yeah,
someone changes forever, and I think Shahid Kapoor's obviously done a tremendous job.
yeah, absolutely. And the soul of the movies is not in the big bang moments, right? Like of course the dance, and those were powerful moments, but these quiet moments they hit really, really hard if you watch closely.
Yeah, I mean, I think if I were to pick out my favorite moments from the Lord of the Rings, it's not the war, it's not the wars, right? It's those dialogues or it's those moments in the middle that sort of
Yeah.
that stand out.
Yeah. Okay, this has been great, incredible. I feel like I have one more in me to watch the movie again, but maybe maybe in some time. But I do feel that I now understand the movie a bit differently, and I would, like you said, try to apply this breaking the cycle thing in my life and get out of this revenge mindset.
Yeah, I hope you don't get too many instances to
Yeah.
feel this way in the first place. But yeah, I mean, you said it. That's what great films do, right? Like Heather, like they don't just entertain. They
Yes.
give us new ways of seeing our own lives. I mean,
Yeah.
I know there could be some movies out there wherein you don't want to apply your head and just
Yes.
just chill, which is absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Uh, but I feel I won't call those movies great. Like I know
Yeah.
it's a misused word now,
Yeah.
but still, like I would reserve that kind of compliment for movies which both entertain and yet make me think.
And so many years later, right?
Yeah, so
We
many years.
keep on unlayering, unpeeling. So yeah, so for everyone who's listening, Heather is available on a lot of platforms. Watch it, and try to keep what we've discussed in mind. I hope that you'll see it differently because of that.
Yeah, and remember, every choice not to become what hurt you is a philosophical act. You're literally
Yeah.
creating a different kind of future.
Yeah. So Mohit, thank you again for blowing my mind as usual. And for everyone else, let us know what you think. Uh, I'm sure you've been, but have you ever been stuck in a revenge cycle? And if yes, how did you break out of it? Let us know.
Absolutely, guys. This is real philosophy. Keep questioning, keep choosing, keep creating.
All right. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.